If Beale Street Could Talk is directed by Barry Jenkins and stars Kiki Lane as a woman in Harlem who embraces her pregnancy while she and her family struggle to prove her fiancé innocent of a crime he did not commit. So first off, I apologise for the audio in this video. I know it's a little bit worse than normal, but it'll be fixed by the next review. I do apologise for that. But I was very, very excited going into If Beale Street Could Talk because I'm a big fan of Barry Jenkins' previous work, Moonlight. I think Moonlight is a tremendous film, and I really loved it. Just all the aspects in it, the performance, the coming-of-age story, it was really sweet, and I just really enjoyed everything about that movie. So to say I was pretty excited about Beale Street would kind of be an understatement. First off, I think all the performances across the board are absolutely fantastic in this movie, whether you're talking about Kiki Lane as Tish, whether you're talking about Stephan James as Fonny, whether you're talking about Regina Hall, who is of course getting, or Regina King, sorry, who's getting a lot of, award nominations and award wins for this role. I think all the performances, like I can't think of a weak one. I loved every single one of them. I thought they were all great in this movie, just across the board, because this is a big ensemble cast, and even though it is very firmly on Kiki Lane as the main character and the main cast member in this movie, her supporting cast is just so strong, and you really feel that in this movie because not only is she great, but when she's surrounded by everybody else, it just elevates the movie so much more. I also really enjoyed the camera work in this movie. I mean, you could definitely see this is a Barry Jenkins movie through and through, because just like Moonlight, there are a lot of really up-close shots of faces, there's a lot of really slow pans and things like that. It's very, trademark, signature Barry Jenkins at this point, after Moonlight and then this movie. It's very, very reminiscent of that. And you can see that definitely in this film. And just the camera work overall, it was very, peaceful, very slow camera movement, which just really settles you into the movie, because I think this movie is a very... It's a very nice movie just to watch and sit in and enjoy with. It's not a movie that is obviously going to have you on the edge of your seat. It's not a movie that's going to have you, really get your heart racing. But the camera work alone really lets you settle into the role, settle into the world, and I really like that aspect. The script and the dialogue in this movie, completely top-notch. I loved it. Especially there's a scene in the very early portions of the movie where you have an argument, per se, with basically Kiki's family and Stephan's family. And I have to say, it's really good. Like, the dialogue is like mic drop moments where you're just like, damn, I can't believe somebody said that. And it's just those moments when you just kind of sit there and you're just like sat there like that, like, Like there's a lot of good dialogue in this movie, and I really loved it. And it's, especially, it's quite funny as well in that opening scene. The movie gets less and less funny and comedic as it goes on, but I just really enjoyed the dialogue. It was very real. It felt very real. The characters felt real. These were like real conversations with real people I was watching on screen, and that is always a nice little bit of authentication that I can always appreciate. And again, I just think Barry Jenkins, as the writer of this movie as well, did a fantastic job on top of the directing. The thing that sticks with me the most about Beale Street, though, is definitely the score. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. Like, I mean, there are very few movies where, I really remember the score the most out of anything else. Like, the only other movie recently I can think of that did that was First Man. I walked out of First Man and that score really stuck with me. It's a crime it did not get nominated at the Oscars. But I still think the score for If Beale Street Could Talk, which did get nominated at the Oscars, is just a stunning piece of music. Like, it's just so good in all scenes when it's used. Like, you have obviously there are particular scenes that obviously I'm not going to spoil if you've not seen the movie. I was about to and I had to stop myself. But there are some really good scenes in this film that are just so heavily emphasised by the music. And there's one particular piece which kind of comes up the most, where I was just thinking to myself every time it came up, like, wow, like that is something else. And I really loved it. I thought it was great. And I just thought, again, it emphasised this movie so much. Overall, I absolutely loved If Beale Street Could Talk. I didn't quite know how I was going to feel coming out of it because I was very excited. Obviously, again, this being written and directed by Barry Jenkins, the director of Moonlight, I was very, very excited. And I always thought to myself, well, even if I like the movie or if I love the movie, I'm still not going to enjoy it as much as Moonlight, because Moonlight was kind of like lightning in a bottle for me. I didn't really think it was going to be recreated. But I'm going to say it right now, I like If Beale Street Could Talk more than Moonlight. I think it's a better film. I think it's a more investing film. I think it's a more real movie. And I just really was invested in this film with the characters, the world, the story. Because it's a very real story based in a harsh reality. Something that, is very, very real and believable. Especially when you get to the ending of the movie and you get to what happens to Stephan James's character. And you realise, yeah, that is probably what would happen. And you kind of just settle into that and you realise that this is a very real world that this is based upon. And again, the dialogue really emphasises that. The characters are real, the conversations are real. And, if I had to choose one word to sum up this movie, it's real. So have you guys seen If Beale Street Could Talk? If you have, make sure you tell me all your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let's have a conversation about this movie in the comment section down below. And as always guys, if you want to see more movie reviews from me, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again in my next video.